Hello everyone. We are here to do a bloom flower bowl. I was asked on the internet about the timing of doing a bowl like this with a bloom and another layer. So that's what we're gonna do. I am using craft resin today. It's a 1-to-1 resin, crystal clear. It's one of my favorite resins to use because it is low bubbles and there is UV protection. Can't beat that. I have my resin prepared. This mold normally takes about 7 ounces for one layer to do a bloom. I got the mold from Temu. And I usually take 1 ounce for my white. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in there. And then I'm gonna pour my resin into my mold. And with blooms, you wanna make sure to not put too much resin in your mold. You want the resin to move into the mold so that there's a thin layer versus a thicker pool where the white might fall. So today, what I'm using for my white is Cast and Craft Opaque Pigment White Concentrate. And I'm gonna do about 5 drops. My bottle is broken. I talk about this all the time because I'm not done using this bottle yet. I'm gonna use every drop. So I'm gonna do 5 drops. I may stop if it starts, coming out the side. All right. I do not want to stop using this yet, but it does make quite a mess because the bottle's broken. That's okay, I'm a mess, so it works well. All right, now I'm gonna stir that up. Now you always want to go with as little white first as you think you will need, and then you could add more. You can't take away. For this project, since we're using a slightly bigger mold than I normally do blooms in, we are going to start the bloom a little faster. I'm going to start the bloom around 31 degrees Celsius versus going up to like 35. What I found is that if it's really warm, sometimes the center of a tray for your bloom won't bloom. So we start just a little bit earlier with this, for me. My room temperature is about, I don't know, what is it today? It's not cool and it's not warm. So if it's cold where you are, things may take longer. If it's hot where you are, it may take less time. All right, so this is what I look like. Usually I like to say it's a little gray. You don't want it solid white. You want your consistency to be like honey. Now I always like to add some shimmer. So I have this Magnolia Shimmer from Laura's Art Corner, which is a store that I love. I spend way too much time on the internet filling my shopping cart with stuff from there. It's a very lightweight powdery thing. So it doesn't impact your white very much, which is great. If you want a little shimmer, mica powder sometimes is a little heavy. This isn't. With mica powders and stuff, you may want to wear a mask because some does fly in the air. So you want to make sure you're not breathing it in. Stay safe all the time. All right, there, I don't know if you could see the little shimmeries, but it's just gorgeous. I'm actually waiting for another shipment from Laura's Art Corner, and I think I have another Magnolia Shimmer coming. All right, so now the resin hasn't quite moved to the side yet. I don't want to put more in. I just want to give it a little help. And it is starting to thicken a bit. You can see it's not wanting to move as quickly. Saw a little bubble, so I just wanted to get it. Otherwise, we're looking really good here. All right, so my colors are Ranger Inks. I have Cosmopolitan, Patina, and Cobalt as I knock them down, but I'm going to start with this one anyway. So Cosmopolitan's going to be the center, and I'm going to add 3 drops. Now, let's see if I can get it in the center or somewhere near the center. That's all I shoot for, is near the center. All right, sorry, had to step away for just a second. And I'm back now. All right, so next I'm adding the cobalt. I can't even talk today, I've got so much going on. All right, so I do shake it up a bit, and now I'm gonna go all the way around my pink with this blue. I want it to be pretty solid. And then I'm gonna do the patina. I'm gonna do this just a little bit further out. And then I'm not gonna do more, only because I do wanna see the white of the bloom around the edge of my bowl. So this is all I'm going to do for color right now. And I'm gonna move on to piping my white. So I have my cup ready. I have an 8-inch piping bag in there. I think I got these from Temu, but you can get them from Amazon. I'm gonna put my prepared white in there. And you see my alcohol inks are moving nicely. If it was warmer, you might want to use a different alcohol ink that has less of a concentrate of ink. You can get cheaper ones from Amazon. Decorum's really good, and those just have more alcohol. So if your resin is really thick, they have an easier time spreading, but you see this spread really nice. And I'm taking it out of my cup. And I'm gonna give it a swirl so it doesn't go back in my hands. And then I'm gonna find my scissors and I'm gonna give the tip a little cut. I don't know if you could see that. It's just a small cut off the top. Put my scissors out of the way. And then I'm just gonna do a traditional spiral for the bloom. I'm gonna do it kind of close together to get some decent petals. But the coolness is actually gonna be the bowl. Oh, I got a bubble in my thing. Did you see that? It just hiccuped. We'll go back and fix that though. Stuff like that happens. We just keep going. All right. Resin is life. I'm a philosopher today. And we'll just draw that back in. All right. Well, it looks pretty good, right? I have some extra white left I might be able to use in another project, so I'm gonna put that to the side. Now I'm gonna do my traditional, I'll get my paintbrush out. Traditional, I've got a paintbrush. I'm gonna use the non-bristled edge. I'm gonna use my Pampers wipe to wipe it with, and then I'm gonna do ends. And remember, don't push down too hard. You don't want to scratch your mold. Next time you use it, you'll get lines in what you're working with. So just drape it across. All right, so now I'm trying to decide whether I want to do outs now. Let's go ahead and do outs now, but I'm not going to take them all the way to the center, I don't think. I think I'm just going to take them at the end. I like the way that looks. The pieces being a little different. It is a spiral, so guessing which one to pull out's often fun. All right, now I'm not gonna do stones or anything in there because I am doing a bowl. So I don't need that. This is gonna be the bottom of the bowl. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna take one of the petal lines here and I'm just gonna do a swirl. All right, that's it for now. Now, because we are doing a bowl, we do want to, let's check on it in 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And then we'll see if it's ready for the second coat. How will you know it's ready for the second coat? Well, the way I always do is lift up a side, and if the bloom isn't moving, you're ready for the second coat. So when we come back to do the second coat, I'll show you that. Otherwise, I'll see you back in a bit. All right, we are back. It's only been 2.5 hours, but I came up and checked it, and it is ready for a top coat. And you may ask, how do I know? Well, I can hold this side up and the bloom doesn't move. So it's ready for the next coat. I am debating what to do. It came out a lot brighter than I wanted it to. So I know I want dark on the outside. But I also know that I want a cool effect because it's a bowl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, I think, some clear, some white, some blue, and then my dark blue mica. All right, so I'll show you the colors as I do them. Let me get my things. I wasn't completely prepared. All right, so first I'm going to do Pearl X, Pearl White. And I'm just going to do a little bit of this in, let me move this cup out of my way for now. I'm going to do a little of it in this cup with the, looks like the least amount. You can see that this is a real science. So I'm going to put a little in there. It was a level spoonful, I think. Mix that up. Remember, with mica powders, you do have to mix them really well. And right now I'm just debating, should I have done more white? Maybe a little more white. All right, just a little more white. We just want the bowl to look cool. I only did 7 ounces this time because 7 ounces should give us a layer. With using all these cups, it's going to be a little less than 7 ounces. And I forgot to mention I got this mold off of Temu. All right, so that's just a very sort of transparent white. If I put more in, it would be less see-through, but I don't think I want more. All right, now I have these two. I want to do one of the Be More Pacific by Mermaid Trash. And I'm going to do 3 drops. And see how that looks. All right, and that's what that looks like. You'll see similar to what we're going to be doing for the other mica powder. All right. This one is going to be, I think, our clear. I may end up changing my mind on it. Actually, let's go ahead and use it for our mica powder, our blue mica powder. Clean up my hands as I go along so I don't get all the bottles sticky. All right. So this is Eye Candy Blue Blood, and it has a grayish tint to it too. It's blue, and I don't know, some people might think black. I'm gonna take a pretty good amount on my stick. I'm gonna give it another good amount on my stick. I want it to be more opaque, and I want this color to be kind of strong. I'm hoping that I did enough. I may take this supposed clear push I have in this one cup. So I have my Blue Blood mica powder. Mixed, make sure it's mixed good. You can see on the sides of the cup the sort of gray tinge to it. All right, so I have that. I have my Be More Pacific. I have my white. Let's do this last one with just a tiny bit of the Be More Pacific. So 1 drop instead of a clear push. I'm gonna use the bigger stick to stir it. 1 second while I get one. Otherwise I'm sticking my hand in these cups all the way down. All right, so this is just gonna be a paler version of the one that we have. Push. There we go. All right. Now let me check my colors one more time. I have my dark deep blue. I have the Be More Pacific in this cup. And you know what? I'm going to give that one more hit since I'm doing the clear push with it. So I'm going to give it 2 more drops. Just because I want it to be really dark and to be able to be a little different than the push I've come up with. Mix it together good. All right, that's pretty deep. And I'm not sure this will work the way I want. I'm hoping I don't ruin my bowl with my brilliant ideas, but you never know. All right, and there's the white, and then we have the push. All right, so the first thing around the edges, I'm gonna do my darker colors because I have a white bloom around the edge. So in order to see it, I'm gonna want dark colors around the edge. The lighter colors can be on the inside because I have color there already. So I'm gonna make a little spout and I'm gonna try to go around the edge of this. I never give myself enough room. I always put cups right where I'm going. Just try to do it right around the edge. And I'm not doing it perfectly. If it doesn't come out perfectly, that's okay. And I'm gonna go around again until I'm completely out. So I'm just gonna keep going until I'm out. And hopefully get somewhat of an even circle, but it's okay if it's not, because the resin's gonna work towards the center anyway. All right, so that's our blue. All right, and so the next I'm doing is the Be More Pacific darker blue. And I'm gonna go right next to this other blue. And it's okay if it's a little on it. And again, I'm just gonna keep going round. And I'm gonna give this cup a little scrape. Try to get a little bit more of this blue in. All right, there we go. All right, next I've got my white. I'll give it a stir again, just to make sure it's well blended. And again, I'm gonna go alongside my color. Now I probably could have just poured it in the center at this point, but might as well stick with the trend. All right, and now, last but not least, is that lighter color, just to push towards the center, but if it doesn't push anything, it's okay, because no one's really gonna see it. I'm gonna give it a little scrape, put it in the center, hopefully. I'm always a little off on my centers, but all right. So that's all I'm doing for my bowl. And this will be the outside of the bowl. The bloom will be on the inside. And hopefully it may have a crackle effect on the other side, and that will just help lend to the beauty of the bowl. You know, if everything works the way that I would like it to work. You know, sometimes it doesn't. We'll know in a bit. In about 5 hours, I'm gonna come back and I'm going to test it to see how it's doing. I am gonna give it a little hit with heat. Even though I already took my gloves off, I'm not gonna play around with it. I'm just giving it a quick hit with heat. Just in case there are any bubbles. It is kind of cool that this one's turning kind of a green, so we'll see what it comes out like, because that's that Be More Pacific. It has a little bit of a green tint to it. Hopefully we'll come up with something cool. All right, we are back. I've unmolded this. I may have waited too long for us to put it into the bowl. We will see. And this is how the other side, this is going to be the inside of our bowl. So I got a big bowl, and now I'm going to try to center it here, and then I'm going to try to evenly, this is the fun part. Let's try. This side to go more and more. All right, and you see where I have this buckled up a little? You'll need to get that pushed in. Like that. Now I have to keep pushing till we get it to the bottom of the bowl. And trying to do it evenly. Because it's so thick, because we did 2 layers, I'm really having to work hard with it. But I think that's good. It looks even, right? It looks even. We won't know until we get it out, but it does look even. And it is very tight in there, so I don't think I'll need to set anything on it. I do hope I'll easily be able to get it out. But we will see, won't we? All right, we'll be back when we're taking it out of the bowl. All right, we are back to de-bowl our bowl. And sometimes this is tricky, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it takes a couple slams, but as long as you do it in a plastic bowl, you should be able to get it out. And I actually just whack it against things. You can't see the off-camera manipulation of the bowl. Hold on one second. I'm gonna give it a whack against my chair. Whoop. And you missed that part. The exciting part you missed. So here's our bowl. So a couple of things with it. Because it's 2 layers, it was really thick, so I couldn't put it in a smaller container to mold up the sides. It had to be larger. If you do this, what I recommend, do your bloom layer and then wait 2 hours and do your backing. And then wait about 8 hours after you do your backing, so a total of 10 hours, and then put it into a bowl. But you can see it did come out really cool. It was a great idea for the bloom bowl.